Hi guys, and welcome to my very first plan with me. I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, please give it a like and subscribe. Today I am going to go over my daily plans as well as a weekly recap and a monthly recap. I have my Franklin Covey planner here. It's the Miranda, and she's the full zip in the classic size. She came to me from my husband for Christmas, and she's absolutely beautiful binder. So the first thing I want to do is take out my task cards. I do apologize if there's any glare on those. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a real quick overall view of what I have going on in this planner. It's roughly set up because I haven't gotten the time to make the dividers for this just yet, because I have been working on my personal planner. So I actually have two planners, one for work, one for personal, and there is some cross planning that does happen when I have appointments and things like that, or if I need to go get the kids, because if I don't put it on my work planner, then I'm going to go forget to go get them. All right, so in my first section here, I have the monthly charts for the adherence and the win the day and all of our metrics. I don't know if I'm going to keep using this, because I feel like a weekly and a monthly recap is really going to cover all of that. So I don't necessarily know if I need to actually see all of the numbers in one big huge chunk for each and every single day. Next up, we have our onboarding KP trending. I work in finance, and so I have certain metrics that we have to meet. As you can see here, it's kind of crazy and all over the place, but the green ones mean that we were good. The pink ones obviously mean that there is improvement that is needing to be done. So we're always striving to do better, improve, and during our meetings, which we have every day, we discuss on, different obstacles that we come across and ways that we can improve our processing procedures. Next up, I have a yearly overview. I also have a fold out that covers the entire year, but I'm not going to show you that because it's got a bunch of personal stuff on it. And then next is my monthlies. This is pretty much where I keep track of everything. So if the kids don't have school, or the office is closed, or my colleague is out, then I need to make sure that I am checking what we call her WIP, and that's just work in progress, to see if anything has come back that needs to be taken care of. All of those fun things. I even have, a lot of personal appointments, and if my husband is on call, I have those in there as well. The next section is just a year at a glance highlighted. This is just like holidays, and I need to finish marking everything on here, like when we get paid and all of that. So that right now is just pretty much my husband's when he's on call. All right, so next up is the index. I just started this in December, and it is part of the Franklin Covey planner kind of system. So what I do is I just make sure that I write down what we discussed during the our meeting that we have every single day. And sometimes there's personal things on here, like for 3 days in a row, I was having low glucose levels and really was struggling with that. So yeah, it's just like all kinds of stuff. So then we get to the dailies. I'm just going to kind of pop in a day here so that you can kind of see. These are meeting notes for our daily meetings. We have a meeting every day. It's 30 minutes. We cover anything that needs to be discussed. Like if people are running out of work, or if we need to have something verified. We just need to make sure that we cover those things daily. And then I also check my routines and also the queues. And when we hit tax season, which is the week after Thanksgiving, we get really super busy. But for some reason this year, we didn't get as busy as we normally do. But we're starting to pick up. So I keep track of this information just so that I know how many cases we have within each thing that I'm actually trained in. So, and sometimes I'm working on projects, and sometimes I'm processing. So it just kind of depends on the day. We don't really know what we're going to be doing until the day of, because work can fluctuate and we pivot a lot. So as you can see here, my one-on-one was scheduled for 2:30 and it got moved to 3 because we had to accommodate for my boss. So yeah, and then we had all kinds of system issues today. I call it the New Year's gremlin because it seems like every year at the beginning of the year, everybody's computer freaks out. Don't know why. All right, so in our next section we have here is weekly recap, and I do the recap at the end of each week. We work Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, and so I usually end up doing this like on a Saturday generally. I'm not doing it on a Saturday today, but that's what we got here. And then our next section here is the monthly recap. And this is just once again for my metrics and then the metrics overall. I did take a huge hit this last month because we had approximately 5 people leave. And so I ended up taking case ownership on some of their stuff. They either left the company or went to a new area. So they can't take care of those cases anymore. And I had one case that somehow somebody got locked to it overnight, and that really brought my numbers down. And then this last section is just a place where I keep all of my notes for my meetings, anything that might, need to be written down, just because then that way I have that just right there, quick grab basically. All right, so, and I do on my computer, we have a program that we can actually pull up the summaries for our metrics. And so what we can do is pull them so that the system just automatically calculates everything for you and figures everything out. So what I'm gonna do real quick, I'm just gonna go over what I do on the daily, and then I'll get into my weekly recap. So daily, we have, and these cards are something I made, but they were inspired from Marsha on Buy Sell Plan, and she's amazing. If you have not watched her videos, you need to go watch her videos. She has amazing goal setting ideas, and she is very on top of it. She works in real estate, so her goals are a little bit different than my goals, but overall, she gave me a lot of really good information, and she's absolutely 100% transparent with things, and she's amazing. And I will tell you this right now, these daily pages and my recap pages are actually inspired by her. So you can kind of see how she progresses. She's been doing her Plan With Me videos for quite some time. But you'll see how she kind of progresses through all of her, planning and whatnot. So, all right. So for the month of December, my goals completely fluctuated because I had what we call a consolidation audit. And they just call it the CAT project. And so what we need to do, it's like consolidation audit and trending. We have to go through and we have to make corrections within the system, because sometimes one system may not necessarily update the way it needs to, and so we have to be pulled and go to do that. But processing is always our first and foremost. So just to kind of give you an idea here, I didn't really start tracking until we picked up, because of low work. We had no overtime, and so processing was really, really low. We didn't have a whole lot in our queues, and so we needed to make sure that we had enough work for everyone to kind of go around. But that didn't really affect me because I was on CAT project, and I've also been training other people. So when I'm looking at these numbers, just to kind of give you an overall, the rate per hour, generally we strive to do 4 cases per hour. It just kind of depends on what you're processing and what is, out there for you to work on. But like I said, you can see here, this is because of a CAT project. Anything with these big numbers is going to be a CAT project, because I can get through a lot of cases in a short amount of time, where when you're processing, you have to take your time. You have to make sure it's right. All right. So with that said, let's see here. I'm going to pop to the 26th. Nope, sorry, 27th. I forgot. We didn't work that day. And if the market is closed, then we're closed. So here is a day of processing. I am very much a goal-oriented person, and so I want to make sure that I'm keeping track of the target that I set, the actual cases that I do, and then the total overall. So generally I like to get 20 cases done in the morning and then 20 cases done in the afternoon, with a total of 40. We got pulled to do the specific case load, and for that day I did 78, and it's because I'm used to processing them. Some people it can take 10 minutes. It takes me about 5. So I get through them just a little bit quicker than most people do. Okay, so with that, I have all of these numbers, and you can see the pink is like where I met the adherence, or the team had met the adherence. I got asked why my efficiency was 33%. And I found out it was because I took ownership of a case that somebody was locked to for a very long time. And how our metrics works is the metric is applied to the person that finalizes or closes the case. So if you are processing any cases that someone else has touched, whether it be somebody in our department or the review department, then that time that they spend on it is also attached to your metrics. I don't understand why it's like that, but it is like that. So overall, you can kind of get an idea here as to what's going on. And then I think what we're going to do, move this up. And we're going to do, so daily I just kind of go over the tasks that I need to do. If there's something in our daily plan that I need to do, then I will make sure that I write that down. I make sure to review the weekly tasks that I need to keep doing. I also take care of metrics, where I post the metrics to our huddle board, so then that way everybody can see kind of where they're at. So Set that one to the side. So then weekly recap. I'm not going to go over my quarterly goals because right now I'm still trying to get those defined. Because like I said, it's going to be a harder thing to do a, preliminary goal set for when you don't know what you're going to be doing. So it does kind of make a difference there. Monthly calendar. Usually what I do is I just check to see who has PTO or who's going to be out of the office, and just make sure that I double check that and make any notes on my calendar, and then transfer any tasks that I didn't get completed last week, which is very rare. And the schedule for the week is pretty much always the same, so I don't really have to do much with that one. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. And I don't know. Oh, I found it. Okay, and if you guys haven't figured it out already, a lot of my inserts I make myself because they are very custom. And I get asked a lot where I make these, and I essentially just make them in PowerPoint, and then set up the page just to a regular sheet of paper, and then that way I can get everything in there. And then for the Classic, I use the print option of 2 pages on 1 page, if that makes sense. Basically 2 slides. All right, so for the weekly recap, I'm gonna go ahead and just write down the total. Oh, this is team. I'm gonna have to do this way. And okay, so then I need to figure out 60. Okay. Okay, so that's the weekly recap. Basically, this is the actuals of what we had gotten. So I would say we did pretty good as a team. It's always important for us to really make sure that we're supporting one another. We definitely hit the adherence, the efficiency, but not the adherence. We got 6 out of 10 for the week. And then I'm gonna transfer this over here, 1/10. So like I said, this is because cases from other colleagues impacted my metrics, but I exceeded a lot of my goals. So that's good. And I know that was because I got pulled into a couple of different projects, and so we had to do meetings for those. All right, so next up, we're gonna go over monthly recap. I'm not gonna cover the year-to-date, but transfer tasks, I don't need to do. Like I said, I need to go through and update these so that they're more so fitting what I need. All right, so then okay, so then I have to figure out what my goal was for like the entire month of December. And this is where it kind of gets tricky because the number of completes here is for processing, and it's not actually the number of completes that I had for the entire month. So I'll have to do my monthly recap for the CAT project separately, just because of the variation in the metrics and whatnot. But for the month, that's right about where I need to be. Sometimes we have more, sometimes we have less. The reason why I would have less is because of those CAT projects, but I still was processing for the month at a rate of 12.5 cases per hour. And then the 4-week rolling average was 18.9. Efficiency, like I said before, other people's cases have those massive impacts on my metrics, and so I'm hoping that that kind of evens out this month, so then that way I can see kind of what a better number is going to be in there. So I hope this helped you guys, and I hope that if you have any questions, you're just going to go ahead and reach out and ask. You can put your comments below, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Have a great one.